Okay, so we're at the committee. You're going to start with one question first. Is to all of you, what is one thing that PASS has taught you?
I'll go first. PASS has really taught me to just really be yourself. Like, this is a very safe environment where you meet people that are very genuine and they're going to accept you for who you are, even if you think, oh, this is not a quality.
I was busy and I was scared about prioritizing my time, and I thought other things would be more important than this. But after being in the program for almost a year now, I've learned that I would have been much happier if I devoted my time towards PASS earlier because I really wanted to.
I think PASS has taught me to definitely challenge myself, not kind of just stick with the status quo or stick with the bare minimum. If there are opportunities that are presented to you, you take them and you run with them. So that's why my involvement, or when deciding which programs I wanted to be a part of last year, rather than just say, I'll stick with 2, I decided to run with 4. And when I'm presented with the chance to be up here for FVP in the caucus, I ran with that too. So it's something that I've grown to kind of embrace, just take challenges and keep running with them.
So our next question. So how will you maintain a professional relationship with your intern?
For me, it's just, I think being part of the mentorship program and the shadow program kind of helps me do this together and have fun.
I think that being professional is something that you said off the get-go. The internship program is a program that is meant to prepare them for their professional life, and they need to know that off the bat. And I know that I want to be their friend and someone that is there for them. However, they need to know that when we're in meetings or they have something that they are supposed to be managing, like at an intern-led meeting or something like that, they need to know that it's time to be responsible and this is their job. Of course, I don't want that to be all that they feel. I want to be there for them personally as well, but they do need to know that there is time for that.
For me, just being a part of the internship program my second year, I do understand there is a lot of pressure and you do feel very uncomfortable sometimes when you're assigned projects and you're going through the motions of school. So definitely to keep a pre-professional atmosphere with my interns, just let them know that this is a safe environment, and I feel like if someone feels safe and you treat them with the same respect that you would want to be treated, you'll get it in turn. So I think just letting them know that this is safe and that I would be there for them no matter what it is, and that they can talk to me about anything, and it's all about communication. And I think that's what would keep up the pre-professional aspect of the internship program.
So at this point, we would like to open up the Marie Molly.
Interns work closely together, right? A lot of interns projects are you work on it collaboratively. So say there's a scenario in which the interns don't get along, their personalities clash, so they don't really work well together. And since intern work is a lot of group projects, how would you guys personally handle the situation?
I think that depending on the number of interns I had, it's not hard to delegate them to different jobs or responsibilities regarding the project. I think there would be a little bit more work for me in that aspect because I would have to make an outline and have to delegate certain members to certain positions. But I wouldn't stop there. I would also try to understand what is setting them apart and see if I can help them figure that out. But if there's no possibility for that, then you just have to delegate them.
I think the important part is communication with all of them and making sure you're on the same page. So sitting down with them, trying to understand what is causing whatever divides there are, what's causing the difficulties in completing these projects. Just, again, communication and bringing them together. And in the case that we do have to separate the duties that are needed to complete, whether it's to complete the meetings or social planning or workshop and so on and so forth. Just making sure that everyone is on the same page in the end.
definitely a lot of delegation when it comes to a situation like that, because I think no matter what setting you're in, you're gonna find that it's gonna be difficult to work with people. Even if you get along with them, there's gonna be times when it does get very heated and tense. So I think just giving them that break in between and letting them have their own space to have a clear headspace rather than just putting them in a work environment that they don't feel safe in. So if they can't work together, definitely delegate them by assignments and like see what their strengths are, and then maybe level with them and let them understand that this is the internship program, and sometimes it does become difficult to work, but they can definitely do it no matter what challenges come their way.
So we did set aside some candidate specific questions. So we're going to start off with Ryan. Not being on board this year, how do you feel like you kind of stack up from your candidates and how you stand out from them as well? How could you use your experience?
Standing out from them, well, I don't have the experience of being on board and planning a lot of these things, because I know that a lot of these events are not solely thrown onto one person. A lot of the responsibilities they're not totally delegated out, but a lot of them are shared. And so I don't have those experiences, but I do have a lot of experiences in other things. In the community college, I interacted a lot with other students through some of the organizations I was a part of there. Coming in as a transfer student, I know everyone here has job experience, but I have a lot of job experience with a couple of years working as a therapist and working with small groups there. Outside from that, I've been a part of past, like fairly, what's the word? Like it's tight-knit, and I've been part of a lot of it. And despite not being on the board, I have talked to so many of the board members, especially exec. And so I know what goes into these things. So I don't think that there's that much of a division, and I could catch up fairly quickly.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next question is for Abby. So being an intern before and witnessing the intern program this year, what are some changes that you would make based on your experiences with the past intern years?
I think based on my experiences with my year and this coming year, I would definitely want to delegate communication within my intern group and have them really have collaborative work, and then time for independent work, because my year, it was very much, we worked together a lot, and sometimes when we weren't working together, it was like, what are we doing? Like, oh no, like, where are my sibs and all that stuff. Where I do believe having that teamwork is really important. I wouldn't want them to feel like I need this person with me. I want them to feel like, give me an assignment, I'll do it, and I can do it by myself. And if I need help, I will ask. And I would want them to feel that confidence and ready to step up to the challenge, because that's what the internship program is.
Okay, coming up on 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and this question's for John. You ran for IVP last year. How are you approaching this position differently this year?
I think last year there was a lot of just me thinking, okay, I have a close friendship with the previous IVP, and I've talked to him a lot, and I think that put me in the mindset that I can do it. But in regards to this year, just seeing it all behind the scenes and seeing what our current IVP has to do in terms of not just the intern program, but delegating work and making sure we're on schedule and making sure that PASS is being run in the most efficient way possible, has given me a different perspective on what it takes to be IVP, and what is definitely needed as a leader for this club. So.
All right, so we're going to have one question left. If you can answer this concise, that'd be great. Is which of PASS's 5 pillars means the most to you?
I think for me, definitely, it's been social support, because coming into UCI, I wasn't really sure about the path I was taking, and I did leave PASS for a brief moment, but the moment I did come back, I found a home. I found a place where I could not only be comfortable, but grow as an individual and, you know, and build relationships with people that I never thought I'd be able to connect with outside of PASS. So being able to be a mentor and explore places outside of Irvine or be on board with so many great people and getting coffee with them, talking to them, and just doing things like that. It's definitely been the social support aspect that has built me into who I am today.
For me, I think that it's leadership. A lot of the passage programs are built around becoming a leader, and the exec boards, they are all good leaders, and learning from them has been an eye-opening experience for me. I believe that's where a lot of us have the most to learn, and that's definitely where I've learned the most, so I think that leadership is most important.
I would also have to agree with leadership, because when you have that leadership aspect, you set out to do anything you want. And when you step into PASS, whether you have all the confidence in the world or you feel like you can't do something, you will step in here and you will feel like, wow, I can do this. And I can do this because I have this resource. I have these people that believe in me, and I'm going to take ownership and I can do whatever I set my mind to.
All right, thank you so much. Another round of applause.